Wild Rose is directed by Tom Harper and stars Jessie Buckley as Roland Harlan, who is a musician from Glasgow who dreams of becoming a Nashville star. This film is just one huge missed opportunity, and while there are some good things throughout it, I don't think it's a bad film necessarily. There is so much going into this film, especially when you look at the trailer, the cast, and also who's behind the film. There's a lot that really was setting this movie up to be a true great film, and it seems like for a lot of people this movie is resonating, but for me personally there's a huge problem at the core, but I'll get into that later. Performances on the whole I think are absolutely fantastic in this movie, whether you are talking about Jessie Buckley, who is absolutely phenomenal in the lead role of this film. I've not actually seen her in anything before, but I have heard her name popping up quite a lot recently, especially in the British film circuit. There has been a lot of talk surrounding Jessie Buckley. I believe she was also nominated for the EE Rising Star at the BAFTAs this year, so she was getting quite a lot of attention earlier on in the year, so she was absolutely great in this film, she really was. And also Julie Walters, who is pretty much a national treasure here in the UK, she was fantastic in this movie, as she always is in absolutely everything, and I think performances across the board were great in this film. However, that problem that lies in the core of this movie is where it really drags it down, and I think the lead of this film, not the actress but the character, is so unlikable to the point where it's just ridiculous for me to actually want to root for this character, because the movie perceives you to actually want to root for this character and makes you want to root for her and tries to get you to get invested in her story, but it's absolutely impossible to do that because she's so unlikable. She has these two children who she completely casts aside and who she completely just disregards for most of the film in order to pursue her dreams. And I get where they were going for, I get where they were coming from for that, but you can't just go and like this character as instantly as you would like to, because she just, the fact that she, just casts off her kids so much, it's just not a nice person. And in terms of her personality traits as well, she is an ex-con, which is not a spoiler, that's like the first thing you see in the movie, and it's in the trailer as well, but she is just this really unlikable presence, and in that regard it's really hard to want to root for her in that situation. And characters overall are really inconsistent in this film, whether you're talking about her or even her mother, who is played by Julie Walters. Julie Walters for the most part in this film, I think her character is completely justified in her views and is completely justified in her opinion on her daughter and also her opinion on the situation. But then at a certain point in the film, which really annoyed me, is it completely flips the script and makes Julie Walters' character look like the guilty one and makes her look like she was in the wrong, which she wasn't. She was in the right the entire time. And the fact that they make her and paint her as almost being like this villain, not villain necessarily, but you get what I mean, you know what I'm getting at, kind of this horrible character, is completely wrong, because she is not that. She is actually in the right, and like I say, completely justified in everything she says. And the fact that the movie completely flips on her and pretty much throws her under the bus, I think is actually ridiculous. Overall, Wild Rose was really disappointing for me. I was really looking forward to this one. I thought the trailer was great. I heard a lot of buzz surrounding it, and it seems like for a lot of people this movie is really landing, but for me personally, and I have seen a few other people agree with me on this on Twitter, is that just the likability of this lead is so just not there. Like, she's so unlikable, she's such a horrible character, and like I say, while I think Jessie Buckley is amazing in this movie, her performance isn't enough to salvage the character, and I think that's a real shame. And even Julie Walters, who is amazing in this movie as well, the script for this film just throws her character completely under the bus, and that's completely ridiculous for me. And even though this movie does have good elements to it, like, I think it's technically well made, and I think the music is really well implemented into the movie. I'm a big fan of country music myself, so to see that kind of be implemented into this film, I did enjoy. The core of any movie really is you want to root for the lead, and I just couldn't for this film because she was so unlikable. So have you guys seen Wild Rose? If you have, make sure to let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again next time.